I'm Vincent Sherry from Washington University in St. Louis. I'm the editor of the new Cambridge History of Modernism, the first of its type and title. I think this book is distinctive in the way it brings together two related but opposite things. One is it's very comprehensive. It spans 75 years of cultural production, from the 1880s or so into and through the middle of the 20th century. It covers all of the genres and media of modernism: literary, visual, art and architecture, music, advertising, journalism, technology. It's also, and particularly broad in its reach. It is pan-European and transatlantic and ultimately global. But it's holding together all of this vast canvas is held together with a very specific understanding of what modernism is, or what we mean by that. And it is something that we are the authors of modernism, in the sense that the modernists themselves did not use this term for themselves. The artists were not marching under that placard. It's a retrospective designation. We have imposed it, say, from the middle of the 20th century back on the previous half of the century. What we mean by that word is relevant. Right? It's the ism of the modern. Right? It's the faith or the belief or the self-consciousness about living in a modern moment. And that's the sensibility that we track across these countries, across these genres, and across this period of time. Yeah, the book is divided into 4 sections. The titles are Modernism in Time, Modernism in Space, Modernism in and Out of Kind, Genres, New Genres, and Composite Genres. That's the third part. And the fourth is the people: modernism in person, modernism in community. For modernism in time, it's about the attitude to time in the modernist era, what this new feeling of crisis time or time in crisis was. And it's also the times of modernism, the decades, the teens, the 20s, the 30s. Space is the spaces of modernism, the big cities of modernism, the sense of the globe in modernism, but also visual art and architecture and urban planning. Genres, it's the various literary genres and artistic genres and musical genres, but it's also types and kinds of people. So we also have essays on women and men, on race, and these evolving concepts of what it means to be a member of a race or a gender. And thirdly, the personnel of modernism, both individually and in groups. They come in 3-person coteries in this book. We have each chapter given over to a kind of triangulated pattern of famous modernists. And we see them individually, but also in connection, working with each other, evolving this concept and practice of modernism. I think modernism is more usefully considered as a concept than as a period. In this sense, it is the ism of the modern. It's the concept of the modern. It's the self-consciousness about being modern. And that occurs at different times in different cultures. For some cultures, it occurs in the end of the 19th century. And in other cultures, it begins in the middle of the 20th century. So it is not a period in an easy way, but it is an idea. And it's an idea about being modern, a self-consciousness about being modern that is manifest in the arts at different times in different cultural histories. If you're anywhere in the food chain of modernist studies, I think beginning students of modernism will find it extremely useful, both because it covers the basic phases and genres and personnel of modernism, and it is very well organized and indexed so that readers can find not just what they're looking for, but everywhere else in the volume where that person or genre is talked about. And advanced scholars too, because these are 44 essays by the top-ranked scholars of modernism. These are writers who have defined the field, and they continue to define the field in these essays. These essays both sum up the knowledge we have about modernism and extend it. And that is a benefit that is useful for every reader across the disciplines.